Good afternoon, families and students of juniors at Great River School. Putting together this video for the first time ever, usually I give PSAT results back to students individually as I'm meeting with them during the junior college meeting, and often that takes weeks or months to get through. And so instead of having you wait several weeks or months to get your PSAT results back, I wanted to put this video together because you are going to be getting them in the mail and online with the PSAT account soon. So I want to make sure you know both how to interpret the results and what you should do next for standardized testing for your junior year. So here we go. This is what it's going to look like. It should have your name up in this corner. There's three large things that are next steps that you'll want to do, actually only two really for Great River students, that are right along the bottom here. This first one is SAT practice, and there's an access code with a URL. If you go here, there's a lot of free resources that you can use. It's probably my recommendation on the first place to go when you begin to study for the SAT. The other thing over here is simply how to register for the SAT. So the SAT is not offered by Great River School. So if you want to take the SAT, whether it's the spring of this year or fall of the following year when you're a senior, you're going to have to go on to SAT, Google it. They're going to have you create an account. You'll find out when their test dates are. Probably take you half an hour to set up your account and then register for a test date. And the cost is about $55. We have fee waivers if your family qualifies for that. And they're going to be more or less every other month on Saturdays. So this middle one talks about AP classes. We do offer AP, Micro, and Macro Econ, but certainly our flagship program is our IB program in 11th and 12th grade. Hopefully most of you are already doing that. So open this up. The main scores that you're going to care about are on this page on your left. Your overall score. This is, again, a generic one. This is not a student score. So this one is 960. The overall score is 1520. It says 51st percentile nationally. That'll tell you somewhat where you stand against other students. A lot of times, well, actually, almost every time, students say, what's a good score? And I'll usually respond by saying, well, you can compare yourself to students nationally and the average or the school average or the state average. But really all you're going to care about is how this can be presented to the school or university that you're interested in applying to. And so this maybe is a good time for me to speak to the junior quote-unquote assignment if you're planning to apply to a four-year institution, which about 65-70% of our graduates do. So the junior assignment is essentially to make sure that you've started SAT and ACT testing, usually in the spring of your junior year, and then begin looking at colleges that you're interested in pursuing, whether it's because of the location, size, whether it's public, private, majors, programs, extracurriculars, probably for most people a combination of all of those things. I suggest by just starting to put together a list of 5. Once you have that list of 5, begin to look at what their average application metrics are. And so the average ACT or SAT score for that school for the incoming freshman, that's more or less the types of numbers you're going to want to be shooting for. And when you look at this and say, is this good or bad, it's in comparison to the other students of the schools that you plan to apply for. So it is broken down. Over here on the left is a reading and writing score and a math score. Sometimes schools will break it down as well. And if you're interested in pursuing math, science, medicine things, they might really care more about the math and science. If you're liberal arts and humanities, again, the same thing. Down at the bottom and over here is just a lot more breakdown on your specific scores and content areas. It's useful, but what I would say is probably more important. On the back is diagnostic information, literally every single question on the test with your answer and the correct answer if you got it wrong. So I would say once I actually do receive paper copies of your results, so far I've just gotten electronic copies. Once I get paper copies, I will plan to have a meeting with the entire junior class and give you your score report, your physical one, the paper one, along with your actual test booklet. So this is frontline studying for the SAT. I would take this test, all the answers, the test booklet, and analyze how the questions went for you and how you kind of determined how to answer things. I think it's a great way to study. That along with the free study materials down here. So let's stop there. That's the quick basics on how to analyze your score report. That's the PSAT. Again, this was entirely free to our families this year. We will then in the spring Also, let's see, I think it's April 19th, a Tuesday, we'll be offering the ACT fully paid for all students, all juniors. If you qualify for accommodations, we'll get those accommodations for you. So all students will take an ACT at that point. A lot of our junior families will plan to take an ACT and or an SAT before that date, often beginning in January. And there's a lot of different ways to study and strategize testing, whether it's to just go in and take some to begin with and see how it goes, or to really begin to study before you take your first test. I'll tell you that on average, a Great River student often takes both the ACT and the SAT, and they often take them 2 or 3 times to make sure that they're scoring in the range that they want to be able to apply and get in and get scholarships at the schools that they're interested in. I'll also say from my own experience, these are absolutely tests that you can study for and improve your testing ability, both in terms of your efficiency in taking the test and in learning the content. So it's not quote unquote an IQ test that you just need to take and you'll always get the same result. I usually see students improve their score taking it 2 to 3 times, and especially as they learn more going into their senior year. So if you have any questions about what to do with these results, how to register for the ACT or the SAT, how to get accommodations on the ACT or SAT, how to get a fee waiver form, please let me or Teresa Hitchens-Olsen, who works with seniors as they apply to college, let us know. Easiest way to get a hold of me is probably by phone. It's the school phone, extension 11, or my email address, mmckelrath@greatriverschool.org. Thanks much.